Welcome everyone to this practice where we're going to be celebrating the full moon and winter. I think for most people, winter, when you think of winter, you think of snow. And snow is very transformative. It just coats the landscape and makes everything look soft and white and beautiful. And there's a sense of peacefulness and everything gets quieter. And then you add the full moon to that. And then at night, the landscape is just lit up. It's not as bright as during the daytime. It's a different kind of light. It's soft and reflective and yielding and kind of introspective. So we're going to play with those ideas throughout this practice and see where that takes us. So let's start by closing our eyes. And as you inhale through your nose, imagine a full, bright moon welling up inside of you. And as you exhale through your nose, imagine snow softly drifting towards the earth. So every inhale is lighting you up, and every exhale is relaxing you downward. And see if you can feel that movement inside of the ribs expanding on the inhale and releasing on the exhale. Keep that fullness and that focus with your breath and begin to circle your ribs around. So imagine that you were circling your body around the full moon. So you reach forward, arching your back, sending your chest forward, and then you reach your ribs to the side, reach the ribs back, and over to the other side. So your spine is moving and it's very pliable and soft and full. And now let's reverse the directions of our circles. Keeping that fullness, exploring the movement, both of your spine moving and the movement of your torso around an imaginary full moon. Now let's come back to center. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up and just gently touch your fingertips together. And imagine that your arms are wrapped around a big full moon. So we're trying to keep this sense of roundness and fullness and openness. And then just tilt your body, like arch your spine to the left. And try and keep your head centered as you reach across the other side and arch your spine to the right. And just go slowly back and forth. Trying not to lead with your arms, but to lead with your torso, with your spine. And just notice how far you can go, what effort you have to make, and how you can stay relaxed even within the effort. Just gliding from side to side, smoothly. Trying to keep your head moving like with your arms, with your body, so your head isn't dropping or your arms aren't leading. And let's come back to center and then just turn your head to the right and turn it to the left. So your upper body's staying still, your arms are staying still, but you're turning your head from side to side. Just nice slow movements. Maybe one more each side. And release your hands, and as your arms float down, sprinkle your fingers like freshly falling snow, falling to the earth. And then inhale. It's like this, when the temperature warms up and the snow evaporates back up to the sky, you reach up, and exhale, the snow flutters down again. So inhale, reach up, and exhale, float down. A couple more times. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, float it down. One more time. Inhale, reach up. You could move your head with your arms. Exhale, float it down. And let's come on to our hands and knees in tabletop. Rotate your fingers towards your knees if you can. If not, just rotate your fingers out to the side. And again, begin to circle around your hands. So a nice big circle, like a nice full moon. Just noticing how far you can reach in this 360-degree circle. And let's switch directions. Feel the weight shift on your hands. Bringing more awareness to every part of the palm of your hand. And then flip your hands, face them forward. And as you inhale, imagine that you're cradling the moon in your back, creating like a hammock or a sling. A swing, a hammock for the moon. And then as you exhale around your spine, imagine that you're draping over the top of the moon. Then inhale, arch your back, cradling the moon, and exhale round your spine, draping over the moon. And just go back and forth, letting the fullness of the moon inspire you to move fully through this practice. Now come back to a neutral spine. Stretch your left leg back, push into your big toe mound so that your belly lifts, and float your leg up. Float your right arm forward. And try and keep your left leg lifted, but you can always lower it down if you can't keep it lifted. And just start to circle your arm and see if you can follow your hand with your eyes, so that you're looking at your hand as it reaches forward and reaches up and reaches back and reaches down. One more circle. And then come back to your tabletop. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So stretch your right leg back. Push it into the ground, float your leg up. Float your left arm forward. And start to see if you can follow your hand with your eyes as you circle your arm. If it's too much to watch your hand as you circle, because this is more challenging, then feel free to just find your gaze, your focus, your drishti, wherever it feels comfortable for you. But do see if you can keep circling your arm, whether your leg is lifted or back on the floor. And one more circle here. Lower your hand down, lower your knee down, and just sway your ribs from side to side. Lower your forearms to the floor. Walk your knees back so you can come into Sphinx pose. Point your toes, press down to the top of your feet. Lift your chest forward, your heart forward. Press down into your hands. And maybe a little posterior tilt of your tailbone, so your tailbone reaches towards your heels. And just stay here for a couple of breaths. Now bring your right hand across your body. Point your left toes, reach your head towards your toes, and your toes towards your head. And reach the left arm forward and back, finding your foot for a little gentle quad stretch. So think of stretching your knee away from your hip and pulling your heel towards your hip. Now if you want a little extra, you could straighten your arm, lift up. But that's probably not necessary for most people. And remember, like, more isn't always better. Really what we want is to listen to our body and be gentle but firm. And you can release your left foot, then point your right toes, reach your head and your toes towards each other. Sweep the right arm forward, up and back, find your foot, And same thing here. Just gently press your heel in towards your hip. You don't want to feel any crunching in your back, so you might want to keep that posterior tilt active. And release your foot. Bring your hands by your sides for cobra. Press into your feet, so engage your legs, lift the shoulders, and curl up. And as you exhale, reach forward to lower down. And inhale, curl up. And stretch your left leg back. Lift your leg up, reach your right arm forward. This time, bend your left knee and sweep your right arm up and back. Find your foot. And kick back through your foot. Reach forward through your chest. Lift your knee up as high as you can reach, like you're reaching towards the moon, reaching toward the stars, reaching upward. And then release your foot, step it forward and twist to the left. Bring your left hand down, step back into your tabletop. And stretch the right leg back. Float it up. Reach your left arm forward. And bend your right knee, circle your left arm back, find your foot. Kick your foot back as you reach your chest forward, maybe lift your leg up. Play around here. And then release your foot, bring your left hand down, step your right foot forward, twist to the right. And lower your right hand down, back into tabletop. And just shift your body around, just move however you want to move. Be creative and have fun. Nice, come back to center. This time we're gonna do the similar shape, but we're gonna hold same foot with the same side hand. So left hand to left foot. So bring your right hand out to the side a little bit. Stretch your left leg back. So engage your core so you can balance. So we're not just all floppy, but we're just a combination of engagement and like soft movement. Reach your left leg up. Bend your left knee. Reach your left arm up, and again, sweep your arm back, find your foot. And again, kick back, reach forward, and see if you can balance those two energies. This time we're gonna bring our left foot forward, holding with our left hand, and twist to the left. Lower your left hand down, step back in a tabletop. Same thing on the right, so stretch your right leg back. Lift your right leg up, reach your right hand up. Remember, you can always bring your left hand out to the side a little bit. And bend your left knee, sweep your right knee, sweep your right arm back, hold your foot. And kick back and lift up. Hold here for a few breaths. And step your right foot forward and twist to the right. Lower your right hand down, step back to tabletop, and reach back into your downward facing dog. Begin to bend one knee at a time. Just walking out your dog. And look forward to your hands, bend your knees, and step forward to your hands. Lift and spread your toes and keep them spread as you lower down. Press into the tripod of your foot. So the mound of the big toe, mound of the pinky toe, center of the heel. And press down with enough energy that you just naturally rise up. Maybe reach your gaze up toward the sky, join your hands together, and bring your hands down by your heart center. Release your hands by your sides. And just take a moment to feel your alignment. See if you can feel the weight evenly distributed between the tripod of your foot. Try not to lock your knees out, but just let them have just a gentle, soft bend. And see if you can feel your knees lining up over your ankles Your hips lining up over your knees, your shoulders over your hips, and your head like back enough so that your ears more or less over your shoulder and your head is kind of between your front ribs and your back ribs. And just play with that energy, like feeling that foundation. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up. And on your exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step back into plank. Keep that inner lift, that inner brightness as you lower all the way down. Point your toes, curl up into your cobra. And extend your chest forward as you lower down. Inhale, curl up. And exhale, lower. Again, let the fullness of the moon inspire this movement. So you come into your full cobra, really activating your back, activating your legs, your whole body engaged. And lower back down, tuck your toes, press back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, round your spine forward. And exhale, arch back. Inhale, round forward. Exhale, arch back. One more time, inhale, round forward. Exhale, arch back. This time let's reverse it. So arching forward and rounding back. Bend your knees, lower your chest, arch forward, and lift your chest away from the floor to go back. Last time, arching forward, rounding back, and lift your right leg up high. Pull your heel to your hip and step your foot all the way forward. Rotate the right heel back and down, coming into warrior two. Windmill the arms up. And stretch out between your fingertips, nice and long. Notice this front knee. Keep your glutes activated so your knee doesn't drop inward. So think that you're kind of tucking your glutes underneath you to provide that strong support. And then reach back, reverse your warrior. As you come forward, sweep the back arm forward, passing through side angle, coming back through warrior two, and reversing your warrior. We're just going to keep that pattern going, circling this front arm, coming through warrior two, back, reverse your warrior, coming forward again, through side angle, warrior two, and reverse. And just feel this nice, big, circling, rotating motion. Let's come back through warrior two. We're just going to flip our feet so we face the opposite direction. And we'll do the same thing on this side. So reach back, reverse your warrior. And then as you come forward, rest your forearm on your thigh, circle into side angle, reach back, warrior two, reverse your warrior. And come on back forward again, circling your arm. Nice big circles. Following your breath. Going through our various poses, then come back through warrior two. Straighten your front leg, parallel your feet, and just heel toe your feet in. So they're a little wider than your hips. Not too wide. And we're just going to do some swinging motions to just get into the flow. So bend, so you're going to swing over to the left and bend your knees, swing over to the right. And just get this nice motion going so that your arms are just floating through the air from the action of your torso. Just letting things go. And then just come back to center and keeping your feet, you might want to spread your feet a little wider. It's really up to you. And we're going to circle. So we're going to do big circles with our arms and with our whole body. So that same idea, when you exhale, you're reaching over, coming down, fluttering the fingers like snow falling to the ground. And then inhale, rising up as the snow melts and releases vapor toward the sky. And then that cycle again of coming down And inhale, reach up. Exhale, over. And just a couple more of these nice big circles. And then we'll switch directions. So floating the snow down, inhale, rising up, and reaching up, and a little twist, float down and across, rise up, and reach, floating down, inhale, back up. Last one to the side. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, rise up. And then forward fold. And see if you can just slide your hips from side to side. And let your arms just follow the motion again. So just like a little gentle, like just gliding from side to side. Imagining that maybe you're seaweed on the bottom of the ocean and that pull of the moon, creating the tides, creating this energy that you're just being taken along with. And pivot your right foot forward again, step back into down dog. Give yourself a nice long stretch. And bend your knees, and you can step forward or you can hop forward this time if you want. Press into your feet, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Again, take a moment to pause. And you know, on the full moon, things can get a little wild. Like there's this big energy, and we're mostly water. So the moon has this pull and effect in our bodies, and people can get a little wild on the full moon. So we're gonna play with wild thing and have fun with that. So in your next inhale, sweep your arms up. And on your exhale, forward fold. Place your hands down, step back into plank. Lower all the way down. Inhale, rise up into your cobra. Exhale, lower down, tuck your toes. Press back to down dog. And walk your right hand in toward the center of your mat. Bend your knees and pivot your knees to the left, your heels to the right. Keep your knees bent and see if you can plant your big toe of your right foot into the ground. So it's going to be a big eversion of your ankle, which might be a little bit, it's challenging actually. But if you bring your feet a little closer to your hands, it might be a little more doable if it feels like you can't do it. And then lift your hips up. Reach your arm over your head so your left foot is stacked on top of the right, lifting up, trying to press down through that right big toe mound. And then keep your hips as lifted as you can. Reach your arm up, reach your leg up, and step your foot behind you, open up, wild thing. Take a couple breaths here. And bring your left hand down, stretch back into your down dog. And take a moment to feel that big opening that we've just experienced. We'll play with wild thing on the left side. So bring your left hand in, bend your knees, pivot your feet to the right. So this is the tricky part, is trying to get that big toe mound planted into the earth of the left foot. Stack the right foot on top. So instead of thinking of straightening your knees, think of lifting your hips up to straighten the legs. Reach your arm up and over. Stretching from your toes to your fingers. Now see if you can lift your leg up, reach your arm up, and step your foot behind you, coming into wild thing. Take a couple breaths here. And come back to your downward facing dog. And just take a moment to sway around in your down dog. Bend your knees and hop or step forward. And come into a squat. Lower your hips down, reach your arms forward, let your head relax downward. Slowly lower onto your back. And hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock and roll on your back, giving your back a little massage. Then place your feet down. Let your shoulders rest on the floor. Hug your knees in towards each other as you press down to lift up, coming into bridge pose. And then slowly lower down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Next time when you lift up, reach your arms up over your head, and then reach your fingers away from your toes. Press down a little more through your feet, lift your hips a little bit higher. And then keep your arms over your head as you stretch your hips towards your heels, lowering down, lengthening the spine. Again, press down to lift up. And the more you press down, the higher you rise. And slowly lower down, reaching your hips away from your fingertips to lengthen the spine. Lower down. And let's do that one more time. So maybe think of lifting and spreading your toes. Lower them back down again. Press into the earth, rise up. And extend long through your spine as you lower down. And draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your knees. Give yourself a nice big hug. And rest your back of your shoulders on the floor. So they're not off the floor, but they're on the floor. Reach your arms up and reach your legs up. Coming into dead bug pose. And just let everything relax. And you can let your ankles relax and your wrists relax, toes and fingers. Maybe you just let out a sigh, or maybe you just feel your breathing becoming a little fuller. Just be aware of whatever it is that you're feeling inside. And from here, bend your knees, and without lifting your shoulders off the floor, grab onto whatever you can reach. It could be your feet, but it might be your ankles or your calves, or even closer to your knees. Coming into happy baby, gently rock from side to side. And keeping your feet wide, lower your feet to the floor so that you feel the edges of the floor underneath your feet and, well, the edges of your mat and the floor underneath your feet. Open your arms out to the side, and then just slowly twist from side to side, lowering your knees to the right, and back up to center and over to the left. Just taking your time, feeling the fullness of this range of motion, gliding side to side. Good. Come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest again. And place your feet down. We'll do one more of those bridge lifts. So press into the earth, reach your arms over your head, lift your hips up. And elongate your spine as you lower your hips towards your heels. Stretch your feet out towards the corners of the mat and bring your arms into a comfortable position. Savasana, the ultimate rest, the ultimate letting go. Just let yourself completely relax. Feeling your breath, feeling that life force energy entering your body and leaving your body. The cycle of the breath. Just like the moon cycles, the breath cycles. And all of nature moves in cycles and spirals and curves, and there's magic all around us. One place to see it easily is the beauty of the full moon, the beauty of a freshly fallen snow. the beauty of each individual snowflake. If you can catch it for a brief second in the palm of your hand before it melts and just see the patterns, it's truly magical. And just let you rest peacefully in Savasana. And I'll stay here with you for a minute or two, and you're welcome to stay longer. Begin to gently bring some movement into your body. It could be gently turning your head from side to side, reaching out through your fingers, your toes, wiggling your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, gently roll to your side. And notice the transformation that has taken place during this practice. And actually every moment we're transforming, whether we're aware of it or not. But especially when you make an effort and have a focus, there's a really amazing transformation that can happen, even though it might be subtle. So just notice how you're feeling now and honor that feeling. And staying relaxed, gently press and roll your way up to a comfortable seat. And feel the fullness of the inhale filling you up like a full moon, and the softness of the exhale like snowflakes drifting to the earth. Please bring your hands together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you feel full of just goodness and peacefulness from this practice. I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe if you haven't already, hit the like button, tell your friends, and most importantly, leave me a comment. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye till next time.